Yes, sir.
FBA.
Just like your village, all of the slaughtering in your village, you had to flee. At least my nephew and I didn't have to flee. It didn't get that bad. But yeah, you had to flee. It got so bad. You had to come over here to North America because you couldn't cut it in your homeland because of the violence. That's the thing that really got you. And you guys are the face of the political sphere there. So that's what makes it systematic to a certain degree, sir. That's why you had to.
If you look at a chart of the top 50 most violent cities in America, there's 7 of them that are from the United States of America, and all 7 of those are mostly
But
FBA,
but
like
if you look at
Jackson.
some of the countries that are the most violent, with the most rape, with the most female circumcision that's forced, with the most poverty, hunger, that's your homeland, sir. That's why you had to flee, right? That's why you're over here.
But Tariq, you fled too. You live in a white neighborhood,
No, I
Tariq.
don't. How am I in a white neighborhood and I'm black? Hmm?
Tariq,
How am I in a white
we know where you live, Tariq.
how,
You live in a
how am I in a white neighborhood and I'm black? One of my neighbors is in here now. Joel lives down the street from me. He's black. So
yeah, that's one
there's
person
another
out of
person.
200.
And Chris Brown's mom had a house next door to mine. So yeah. Exhibit lives around the corner from me. So I don't live in a white neighborhood. There's black people all in my neighborhood. I live in a pretty wealthy neighborhood, but it ain't, you tell this thing, anything wealth is white. That's why you got a white man's picture in your profile, sir. You're pretending to be a white man. See,
So what's the racial demographic?
anything successful you equate with white. That's the tether mindset. That's why that's that colonized mindset, sir. But it's okay.
So what's the racial demographic of your
It's
neighborhood?
the same,
Could you tell the
the same
audience?
as Los Angeles. The same as Los Angeles.
And what's
It's
that?
like what? It's about 10%. Los Angeles is about 10% black. It's a very small.
Exactly. So you live in a majority Hispanic white
But no, the
neighborhood. You
whole
fled
city
from
is
your
majority white and Hispanic, the whole city. So you're not saying anything.
No, you could live in South
Sir,
Central.
I have a business in South
South,
Central, and do you know all the Mexicans who are in South Central now? And Compton? Compton is very
but it's way more than 10%.
Compton is very Mexican now. Most black people are living out in Palmdale, Lancaster, the Inland Empire, places like that. A lot of black people have been pushed way out of the mid cities, sir. But yeah, this is my city. All of it is my city, sir. There's no white area. All of it is mine. This city was founded by black people. This is my city. My taxes go all over here. So that's the great thing about being a foundational black American. We don't have to live in little shanty towns and villages like in your homeland when the white people are living high on the hog. So you're projecting your failed village mindset onto us. Just like in South Africa, your homeland, white people have running water, heating, plumbing, electricity, everything works smooth in the white area. In your little village, y'all got flies, fans, and camel milk. And you think that that's normal. No, no, no. We live all over the place over here, sir. That's the great.
Look, I'm not gonna cape for those foreigners, but at least they own the utilities. You guys don't own anything. You don't own the
No,
sewage plants. You don't own the water plants. You don't own the
so
electricity
you're
plants.
trying to claim ownership of streams and rivers that you shit and bathe in your homeland. That's your plumbing system, sir.
But if you look at a billionaire list, or at least
Oh,
their billionaires aren't
don't
in
don't
entertainment. All your billionaires are
don't
entertainment.
tell me about no billionaires. I don't want to hear about no billionaires over there in your homeland because you have none. Because y'all don't have anything popping over there, sir. Your billionaires couldn't even help y'all get your shanty towns together, sir. I don't want to hear about that. That's why you left. You're over here, sir. Come on,
Look at a black billionaire list. None of them are FBA who are not
sir.
in entertainment.
Sir, most of us in this room,
All the FBA,
most of us,
all
most
the
of
FBA billionaires are
we don't even have
rappers. They're
most of
athletes.
the people in this space right now have more money than everybody in your country that you fled from, sir. We don't even have to be billionaires. Some of the people in here got regular 9 to 5s and they are doing better than the majority of
And
the
they work for Europeans. They
and
work for Europe.
majority, not everybody, and the majority of the country that you fled from, sir. You understand? Yeah, you project a lot of your failure, Nathaniel.
FBAs, if you have to go wake up at 6 a.m. to go work for a European, raise your hand. How
You
many FBAs have a
you
white
have to
boss that you have to
If you have to get up at 6 a.m. to go walk 40 miles to get water for your village, raise your hand, Nathaniel. Raise your hand, sir. If you have to get up at 5 in the morning to go down to the green card office to do something strange for a little piece of change, hoping that you can go down to the green card office to do something strange for a little piece of change, hoping that you can get a visa to get the hell up out of there, raise your hand, Nathaniel.
And UFBAs would be doing the same thing if it wasn't for the white people who brought you
No,
over.
no, sir. No, 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 no. We're fine. We've always been fine. We take care of ourselves. We try to
Well,
get the
clearly not if you're shooting 5-year-olds
we,
in car washes.
yeah, and we don't know the background of those dudes. They might be tethers too. They might be Caribbean tethers.
They're
We don't know the back.
no, no, they're much.
Oh, no, no, no. We don't know the background of them dudes. We don't know the background. And again, those are niggas who ain't got nothing to do with the rest of black society. That wasn't sanctioned by anybody. But y'all be doing that shit, and it's normal over in your homeland. Y'all be doing all types of shit to women and kids, and that's normal in your failed homeland, sir. It's not looked
Is
down.
Adonis Robinson an
Yeah.
FBA name? Is your
Yeah, 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 yeah. That weird shit is normal in your homeland, Nathaniel. So you need to be
so
thankful.
how come
You need to be
what
thanking
FBAs?
Nathaniel. Why don't you say, hey, stop having all that jealousy and contempt and say, hey, thank you, Foundation of Black Americans, for getting me out of that dirty village with all of them flies on my stomach. Thank you, FBA. Why don't y'all just
I
be,
have
hmm?
I have no issue with FBA's role in setting up the country. You can say you built it, whatever, but we have to address this endemic violence that's happening in the FBA community.
No,
If you look at the top,
no. A lot of the violence comes from you tethers, especially up in Minnesota. A lot of the violence is coming from you tethers, sir. That's where a lot of the violence is coming from. You understand? So we got to get rid of some of the tether violence, right? Right, Nathaniel?
or can I just ask just one more thing? So, do you believe that FBAs have agency? Like, for example, I think 40% of FBA women are obese. Do you think that that's because of white people? Like, what's the issue with that? And also, the fighting in the schools, is that because white people? Like, what causes that? Is there FBA agency, or just everything is due to white
Well,
supremacy?
if they're obese, they're trying to mimic your foreheads in your East African homeland because y'all have big fat foreheads. Let me get our good sister Love I Am in here. Love I Am, would you speak to this tether, please?
I simply don't to me, everything that he's saying, I don't understand how these are the conclusions that a melanated human who comes from a destabilized nation would come to. Like, how would you skip over the colonization of your country, that is, and all of the theft that is happening in your country to get to us? And it's annoying because this is that narcissistic devaluation that happens. It's a negrophobic thought process. Actually, it's
Mhm,
anti-Black American, because the reality of the matter is that white people, Bill Gates literally has a depopulation agenda for the entire planet. It doesn't get more violent than that. So the fact that they use Black Americans to scapegoat everything, vaccinations, they literally, all of these things that the dominant culture is able to do to, they are literally able to commit crimes against humanity. It doesn't get acknowledged, and they just skip over all of the crimes against humanity and then get to Black Americans.
yeah,
Like, it does not make sense,
So, did
Nathaniel.
Bill Gates' measles vaccine, did that make you obese? Did that make 40% of FBA women obese? Was
And
it the
then
measles vaccine?
GMO food, all of these things. But this degenerate vagabond wants to address Black Americans when literally Black Americans you can't name a harm that Black Americans have done to your people. So I just don't see how we will be the first on your list to address.
Have
But
you seen the FBI crime table?
this actually affirms that y'all are so bothered by us delineating.
hmm
That's what's at the crux of this.
there you go. Thank you so much, beloved. Nathaniel. Nathaniel, there's jealousy there. What's with the jealousy? Because the sister made a good point. It's rooted in,
No, I'm asking you a question. Do FBAs have agency? That's a simple question.
sir, you're not at liberty to ask that. You're talking about obesity? Sir, you know what's, I take obesity than starving, sir. You wish you can get obese in your homeland. You're walking around bony, ribs showing, but the belly big and flies all over you. Yeah, give me a.
See, that's the difference
I'll take.
between FBAs and other people on the planet. We'll acknowledge our problems, but the FBAs will just blame it on everyone else.
Oh no,
Don't you think that that's an important distinction between the two
y'all
groups
love
with
running.
FBAs and non-FBAs?
Sorry, y'all love talking about it's the government. The government. Well, you're the government, sir.
Exactly. They'll at least admit that they voted in the government. FBAs will say, "Oh, we didn't vote in that government.
That's
It's not our issue.
that's a.
It's not our fault."
No, we take it. No. We just made the Democrats crash and burn, and that was a grassroots movement, sir. So we take responsibility. We don't have a choice but to. Nobody's looking out for us. Foundational Black Americans, we look out for ourselves. We're not sitting around here with plates of Red Cross rice like you and trying to find a place to flee like a coward to the point where you have to sit up here using a white man's profile picture because you're so ashamed of who you are. Don't project your shame onto us. And I think that's where a lot of your vitriol comes from. You stay in our spaces, Nathaniel, whining and trolling to project the insecurities you have about fleeing your failed homeland and sitting up here pretending to be a white man. That's
You need to explain these crime rates and these obesity rates and these
long.
5-year-olds that are getting shot in car washes.
I can deal with
You
that.
need to explain this.
That's called life. It's okay. Long as I'm not living in a shanty.
No, we don't have to live like
Long
this. You
as
don't have to live in a world where 5-year-olds get shot in car.
no, long as I'm not living in a shanty town, wiping my ass with giraffe ears. All right. Long as I'm not doing that. Let me get my brother Afro Elite in the building. Brother Afro Elite, hop on in, sir. I can hear you, my good brother. How are you?
First off, before I address what Nathaniel said, I want to say this. Okay, I ordered 2 sticks of your root work deodorant.
Yes.
All right, that stuff is high class, top tier. Okay, top tier. I got the cocoa butter and I got the what's this citrus charm? I think it was.
Yes.
Y'all got to get that stuff.
Yes.
Wonderful, absolutely top class, best.
You
Now,
need to get the Lucky Lavender as well. That one's good.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Well, maybe next time. To address what Nathaniel said, I think that this goes to culture. What our brother Tariq is essentially trying to say is that as much there is violence, let's be honest, there's violence in every other community. The thing is that we don't have a culture of accepting this stuff. Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, all my life, I've seen Black people have a stop the violence march and put the guns down march and community meetings so we can calm down gang violence and stuff like that, because we have a culture of rejecting violence and crime and things like that. We've always rejected that. So that makes it anti our culture, because the solid majority of us reject violent crimes or crimes of any sort. That's unlike you all's culture. You all's culture, scamming, violence against women, violence against children, that's not called out. You guys don't speak out on that stuff. Now, am I saying that all you all do it? No, but all you all don't have to, because the ones who do it, nothing gets said about that. That's not publicly shamed or criticized or chastised. There's nothing in the culture that says we need to sit down and have a conversation about how to end all this violence against children and all this violence against women and all this scamming that we're doing. Your culture doesn't do anything to stop that from happening, unlike foundational Black Americans. That's the problem. That's the difference, because you can say, well, The thing is, our culture always works to try to solve that. Your culture, what you do is you flee. You go to someplace else because you have a culture of not solving your problems. We are the only people really in the world, if we're going to really go there, of actually having a culture of solving our own problems. Problems, mind you, that we didn't even really put in the community, if we're going to be honest about that. But I don't want to be too long.
There you go, my man.
Because the boys in the hood are always hard. You come talking that trash, we'll pull your card. No, nothing in life but to be legit. Don't quote me, boy, 'cause I
That's
ain't
a
saying
song,
shit.
sir. That's a song. What does that mean?
That's your culture.
That's a song.
These are songs from your
That is a
culture.
song.
That's a song
That's a song.
written by a college student. Ice Cube was a college student when he wrote that song, and he went to
So our song's not a part of culture.
yeah, he wrote a song as a college student, and now he's one of the most prolific black independent producers out here now. So what are you saying?
So it's okay to write songs about shooting FBAs as long as you go and become a
Yeah, I
professor
would
or
rather
a
hear a
producer
song.
or whatever.
I would rather hear a song about shooting than go to your homeland and get shot, because that's what you're doing in your home.
That's not what the crime. That's not
Yeah,
what
yeah.
the crime stop
Y'all
says.
don't rap about.
Okay. Do you see how much you have to reach? You're talking about a song. So now what we can't rap about a song. We can't make
So
any
what's
type of
culture?
no, it's
So
fiction.
what's
It's
culture?
fiction. It's
What's
fiction.
culture?
It's
So
fiction.
what's culture?
He wasn't
What's
talking about
culture then?
something he was doing. He was making a song.
So what's FBA culture then, if not music?
FBA culture is solving our problems. Don't have to do that. Because then we can bring up Michael Jackson, we can bring up Whitney Houston, we can bring up beautiful music that you guys don't have anything similar to. So y'all don't want to play the music game. Y'all really, really, really don't. But to be honest with you, that song, to be honest, that song, that's a reach. That's a reach.
Hard.
Because that's not reflective of his character.
Yes, indeed, my man.
So he just made a song about shooting FBAs, and it's not a part of his character.
No, it's not.
That song isn't a part of culture.
No, it's not. It's just like a movie. It's just like
You made microphone check.
Yes.
Come on.
What about him? What about it?
This is hip hop. This is rap. Is rap not FBA culture?
Yeah, when y'all wrap your mouths around the green card office man's dick in order to get a green card. So y'all rap too. And sir, you can't really point the finger. You just can't. You're too violent. Y'all are about the violence. Yeah, we'll rap about it, but you guys will be about the violence, sir, and that is a problem.
So why are 7 FBA cities in the top 50 most violent cities in the world? 7 FBA cities. Detroit, New Orleans.
Why is your homeland so violent to the point you had to flee? Long as we're not that bad. Why are we not as bad as you?
So why aren't these cities in the top 50 most violent cities if they're so violent?
Why are we not as
Why you don't
Why are we not as bad as your homeland to the point where you had to flee? You're not at liberty to point the finger. That's what makes you look silly, sir. You can't.
Whatever homeland you think I'm from, it's not in the top 50
And that's
of
another
the most violent cities.
and you know what? Your homeland is so bad, you're too embarrassed to admit exactly where it's from. That's how bad it is and how embarrassed and ashamed of your homeland you are. You're too ashamed to even admit where the hell your homeland is. You ain't at liberty to point fingers at none of us. We don't want to hear your insecurities, sir. We don't want to hear it.
Tariq, I'm from America. I don't play these your tether games that you do with everyone where you accuse everyone of being a tether.
We know you're from East Africa. We just don't know the exact country and you won't say it, which is fine. It doesn't matter. You're ashamed of yourself. You're ashamed of your homeland. You're ashamed of your culture. And you try to project that shame onto us over here. And we're not trying to hear it. We're not going for that, sir. You got to handle your own business. Get your homeland together. You stay lurking in our circles, wagging your little goosey encrusted finger. And we're telling you, you're just not at liberty to talk about any crime over here, sir. That makes sense, sir?
Yeah, I'll just say one more thing. And I'm not gonna play the you're a tether game because
you
accuse everyone of being a tether, including Drake, who has an FBA father. And other than that, I just want to tell the FBAs to put the guns down. FBAs, come on, there are 5-year-olds that are dying out here.
Yo, this is like the 300th Somali to call in talking about they have high IQs. But they still out here robbing ships like it's the 1500s. Wait till the travel ban goes into effect. then they're gonna be begging to get into America. But yeah, I'm not gonna say too much. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment down below. Follow me on Twitter. That's where I'm the most active on. The next live stream gonna be sometime this week.